All right, looks like we're live here. What are we on today? Wednesday. First day of September. Start of a new month. Looks like a pretty interesting pre-market. Let me see what's up. See who's in the chat so far. Looks like Ago's here. Good morning. Your pal Al, what's up? Div by 0. 6-8 Spindrift, what's going on? Turts McGurts. Thank you everybody for joining me this morning. Barack, hopefully I'm saying that right. Thanks for joining me. Glad to see you this morning. So I got up a little early today. I thought I was gonna sleep in. Actually, I was having some trouble sleeping last night, just kind of tossing and turning. But I popped out of bed, I think around like 4 a.m. So wide awake this morning. Already got some coffee in me. Skip says check out SOS. Yeah, I've been actually, some of the groups that I'm in have been mentioning that one. Let's pull this up. AMC doesn't seem to be doing much so far. Let me pull SOS up real quick. One of the things I know a lot of people were talking about, and was SOS looked like it was starting to break out. Kind of hard to see on this small one, but yesterday it did start to go on a little bit of a run. Hit 278, and I believe if it can get over 3, let's see what the option chain looks like. There does seem to be a lot of open interest at $3 on the option chain. So if SOS is making a push right now, I think if it can crack 3, it has the potential to maybe make a little bit of a move. At least that's what I was looking at last night. But yeah, it does seem like SOS is starting to move again this morning. Let's see. KLF, what's up? Barack is saying 9th. Not sure what you mean there. GameStop was probably the most intriguing thing that I saw this morning. So, it's moving quite a bit for GameStop. Occasionally you'll see it kind of go up and down a little bit, come down, and it's been kind of steady climbing since this morning. I think it started this morning at least around 219, closed yesterday at 218, and hit a high just a little while ago at 224. Could be an exciting day there. CLOV had a nice little spike right around 2 a.m. Not a lot of volume behind it, only 5,000 shares, but did get up to 869. But we're right back to 855, right around, where we closed. BBIG is one that I kind of grabbed a little bit of a, when was this? Back on Friday, I believe, maybe Monday. I think it was Monday. I grabbed a call right around here. I drew this red line right before I got off the stream, and I think I grabbed a call somewhere in here. I don't even remember where it was that I bought it at, but yeah, that one was underwater all day yesterday. Looks like it's bouncing back a little bit today, so I'm hoping to get back there. And then SPRT was the other one that, again, wasn't really trying to chase, but I think somewhere around the same time frame, I think I might have bought in right around this $35-$36 mark. So that one still actually looks like it's trending downwards right now. Who knows? I know this morning I was looking around Fintel, and those are actually the two top on the short squeeze. I was starting to track that a little bit. If you guys remember, I think about a month ago, I started checking every morning to see what was number one on the short squeeze and seeing if there was any correlation. And I haven't really seen one yet, so I'm not getting my hopes up too much. And I don't have a major position. I think I have a couple calls of each. of BBIG and SPRT, just to see if they're going to keep moving. Didn't want to buy too many shares or any shares at all after such a big move, in case this thing comes crumbling back down. At least with the calls, I kind of know where my risk is, and the max that I'm willing to lose there. But let's see here. Pull AMC back up. Get that back on there. See who else popped in the chat. Sir Lucky Charms, what's up? Good morning. William Wharton, what's up? Seven Leaf Clover says top of the morning to you all. Good morning. Scotty Z, morning. Grabbing some shares this morning. Fired up. Let's go, Scotty. Your pal Al says he saw your check liver light, Scotty, during the Bacardi shot. Let's see. Div by Zero says, "Hey, coach, question for you. Do you track the holdings on big funds? How much credence do you give to that information?" I don't. I don't really track it. I know that there's a lot of people that do, and whether it be, some of the bigger hedge funds, or, like even like a Kathy Woods or anybody like that, and kind of follow who they're investing in, and that sort of thing. I know one thing I do though is I think everyone, if I'm like, for instance, if I'm tracking CLOV, and I do pay attention to CLOV's institutional buys and that sort of stuff, I mean, I guess for the most part, when you see institutions coming in and buying up, stock that you're invested in, it does kind of maybe make you feel a little bit of a confirmation bias, like, yeah, they see the value in it as well. But I've never really been into like tracking, actual institutions, and what they're buying, and maybe like trying to follow suit. I have done a little bit of whale watching, if you will, like if I see big options plays come through, or big block trades come through on a specific stock, out of nowhere, maybe giving a little bit of credence to that and saying, okay, someone knows something, maybe there's a move coming, and then try to jump in on something like that. That's something that I've definitely done in the past. Josh Stewart, good morning. Let's see here. Turks is saying, Coach, EYEG short float 92.3. Let me pull up the Ortex on that, and we'll also we'll check out CLOV's Ortex data first, and maybe some of these other ones as well. Might as well get into that right now. So CLOV right now, shares on loan 52 million. It's about 11 million off of the high that we've seen. Looks like 824,000 shares returned this morning, and only 68,000 in volume this morning. Some of that stuff doesn't make sense. I mean, I know I've said this in the past, and this is the way it works. Like, there could be shares that were borrowed that were never used, and they just got returned today. But it just seems like this data is way off. When you look at that kind of stuff, I know some other people have pointed out as well, discrepancies in these numbers. Altrades has been big on staying on top of these numbers, big time. But utilization dropped a lot, down to 92 recently. But we're seeing cost to borrow still increased from the one that we saw a while back. So not a lot going on here with CLOV. If we check out that EYEG that Turks is asking about, and yeah, I'm gonna work on that. I don't know why that's not pulling up. Huh. Other stuff's pulling up, but I can't get that one too. Let me see here. SPRT, just out of curiosity, I want to check that one out. And BBIG, because those are two ones that. So here we have 71% short interest, much smaller float, cost to borrow through the roof, utilization pretty similar to what CLOV is, and it looks like short interest increasing today. Cost to borrow 264. That's pretty crazy. Let's check on BBIG. And not as high on the cost to borrow side. Utilization's almost at 100 though, and again, short interest not nearly as high as SPRT, coming in at 37. Let me try that EYG one more time. There we go. Finally popped up. Estimated short interest is less than 1. Exchange reported short interest 54,000. Shares on loan 143. Cost to borrow is extremely high though, and looks like a short interest change of 8.5%. So that would move this up a little bit as well. I'm not familiar with that stock at all though, Turks. Dan, what's up? Good morning, Mike. Joseph, what's up? Ego says, appears to me the duration of short attacks in the AM are shortening. We're used to short attacking open to 7:30. Seems like they're giving up the fight earlier each day. Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw a little bit of a dip. Let me back this up too, just so we can kind of. So I mean, yesterday we saw a little bit of a dip here, and we ripped right off the open. I think that's kind of what Ago's getting into right there, and it looks like, kind of this morning we're not seeing much going on so far. I mean, we saw this pop, but that was only 5,000 shares. But yeah, I agree with you. It seems like they're giving up the fight, running out of ammo, or slowly starting to reverse position. Coach B, how do you find the next ticker you're going to do TA or investing on, word of mouth or other platforms? A little bit of both. I usually, lately I've been busier than hell. I know I've talked about that a lot, so I haven't been doing a lot of research. But a lot of times I'll use scanners if I'm really like looking for a play, looking for crossovers, looking for, maybe RSI that just went, cross 50. Some, things like that. MACD crossovers on daily charts. Really, I look for swing trades lately. Haven't really been doing much day trading unless there's like a big gapper during the day or something like that, in the morning. But yeah. I like to play with stocks that I'm familiar with or sectors that I'm familiar with. And then if there are some, there's usually, I have about, God, that list is probably huge now, but maybe 50 to 75 stocks that I just kind of, I have an Excel spreadsheet that, occasionally, and it updates and kind of shows me, the percentage difference over periods of time. And I kind of look for undervalued plays, stuff that's been dipping, things like that. And then keep my eye on stuff. And a lot of times I miss out on plays too. And it's because I'm already invested. Like right now, I know I've talked about this many times, but like BNGO and AVXL are stocks that, I do have an investment in right now, and not a lot happening with them. So it's just kind of sitting there. It's out of sight, out of mind. At some point, I do expect those to start running. DraftKings is one that I've been more on top of. because I really felt like it was in an undervalued spot. Um, but and obviously there's the CLOV and the GameStop, and those are kind of like, my bigger plays. But I don't really count the SPRT or AMC or BBIG calls, because those are just, I threw a couple in those really short term just to see if I can get a part of the squeeze action. But in terms of other plays, there was some that kind of popped up for me recently. SPCE is one of them. That's a stock that I've been watching for a while, and I feel like I kind of missed the entry point on that one again, and maybe I'll be able to later on a pullback or something. But it's you can't play too many stocks at once, and so I do kind of have a watch list. I really like to play stocks that I'm familiar with, but at the same time, word of mouth too. Like SOS popped up on my radar again because of word of mouth. Same with a couple other ones that I've been looking at, but there's always going to be opportunities. I know I've said that before. That's where I say, like, a lot of times I feel like I miss out on plays, but I have convictions in the plays that I have too. So it's like, if I do miss an entry point on one, I know that there'll be an entry point that'll roll around again, and maybe it'll be a different sector that I'm watching that'll be ready to run. Zip Jester, what's up? Afternoon, where you at? It's early in the morning right now. For me, it's 5:20. But good afternoon, Zip Jester. Christina Ridge, what's up? Good morning. Alexander Lee says, what's hot this morning? Like I said, I think GME. I haven't seen GME, at least not that I can recall, move like this in a while, where typically you'll see it kind of come up and get slammed down, and it looks like not a lot of volume behind it, but it's slowly starting to move. $7 being up $7 isn't a lot for GameStop in relation to the size, but volume has been almost there hasn't even been much volume on GameStop in a while, and so to see it move right now, even on little volume, I think it's only sitting here at 42,000 on the morning. But BBIG starting to move and actually has some volume behind it. In terms of other stocks I'm watching, I wouldn't be surprised to see Zoom get a little bit of a bounce back today after crashing down tremendously yesterday. I know Lucid is taking a dump this morning. Let me see. Check that one out. Yeah. Trading at 20. Right now it's at 1650 this morning. That one's really starting to crash. But yeah, I try to keep my eye on a lot, but there's only so much you could watch too, right? Unless you want to. I mean, I'm in a bunch of groups where there's just text going nonstop, and I don't really have time to really pay attention to it, especially when I'm streaming or getting up and trying to get ready for the stream. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Good morning. Big Nate's in the house. Ross Lowe says, I have 400 shares of CLOV at 1137. Could I benefit more if I sell and buy leaps? That's a great question. So, I mean, shares are always gonna be your safest bet, obviously, right? And I don't know, if you sell your shares and buy leaps, there's no guarantee that you are, they expire. But if you wanted to look at leaps, I'll go ahead and pull them up. So we're talking way out here, January 2023. IV on CLOV is relatively low, right, from where it's been. And that's because we've been trading sideways for about 3 months. So if you were going to buy leaps, right now, let's see here. So the $7 is going for $4.45. You're underwater on your shares though too, right? So I mean, if you were going to sell your shares, you're taking a loss. But You figure for every 100 shares you sell, you're getting about basically enough to get two in the money, two, you know, $7 strikes. And essentially, you would need those to get back to 11:45 at expiration to be break even, and that's kind of where your your cost average is right now. So it would give you the opportunity to basically double, So I mean, I'm just saying, you would sell 400 shares, you'd basically be able to buy eight leap contracts. Now you have the price movement of 800 shares as opposed to 400. Um, and we're talking about 506 days from now. I would imagine that CLOV 506 days from now would be trading well above $11. So it's not a bad play. It really isn't. I mean, it's going to give you double the price movement, and I'd say leaps are probably fairly safe. Whenever I buy leaps, I like to go in the money or at the money. So, and if you look at the cost difference here, you're paying 70 cents more for $3 difference. So I would definitely go with these. If you were going to do it, go with the $7 strike as opposed to the 10. And the reason I say that is, again, 11:45 would be your break even at expiration with the $7 strike. If you went with the $10 strike, you need to get to 1370. By expiration. Now, my guess is that Clove is going to be well above both of those. But for 70 cents more, $70 more, I'd rather get that that big differential there. But again, there's a lot of risk with options, right, compared to shares. But that would be a way to kind of double your your position size. And a lot of times that's how I scale into my plays too. So, if you were to get leaps and all of a sudden Clove has a big run up in the next couple weeks now, you're getting the price action, basically double. You're getting the price action of 800 shares. And maybe you could even sell 4 of your leaps on the run up. And use that money to then exercise, because you'll probably have way more than in profit if we're talking about a big run up to $40 or something like that. Use that money to exercise and get your 400 shares back, and keep some profit. So there's a lot of options you have there, but not a bad idea, not a bad play that you're thinking of. Fluffer, what's up? Good morning. Can you do a chalk talk about scanners? Yeah, I'll add that to my list. You guys gave me some great ideas yesterday. I got to tell you though, my newest chalk talks are going to be on some option strategies. I kind of got through the options basics playlist now. If anybody hasn't checked it out, that's kind of what I'm looking to get. I went through the basics, so now anyone who's looking to get into options, if you watch that set of videos, I think it's like 10 videos. They're all 5 to 15 minutes long. That should give you the basic knowledge on how options work. And now I want to start getting into the strategies and even a strategy like what Ross Lowe just brought up. Is one that I've used. Like using leaps to build my position and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm going to go short term with my chalk talks. But what I do have written down here is start to talk about exit strategies, scanners, and then I also want to continue on with that market manipulation playlist, because there's some stuff that I kind of left out on the first go round. Holiday option, what's up? Good morning. Sir Lucky Charms, new member, what's up? Thank you, I appreciate it. First member of the day. And I know I'm behind in the chat too, so I don't know how long ago you did this, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. And anyone who's interested, I did offer the membership for the channel now. Right now you get the cool little logo next to your name, and that's about it, because I haven't added the emojis yet, which are coming, I promise. And I got a great list yesterday of emojis we're probably going to be adding. The wine glass was an idea that someone threw out there yesterday. Maybe an Andrew Toy bobblehead. Um, some little mini shots for Scotty Z on Fridays. I really want to get that going before this Friday. A TMB logo, typical morning bullshit. Um, you know, so I got a couple ideas I wrote down, and that'll be coming. Also, a discount on the merchandise store when it comes out, and eventually I'm gonna do some Chalk Talk streams, and I really want to get that kicked off probably next week. Um, I'm thinking the best day for me, at least, to do the Chalk Talk stream is probably going to be a Wednesday or a Thursday, but I'm probably going to put a poll out on the community tab and see what the members think, because really what my Chalk Talk streams are going to be is um, going over, really answering any questions that you guys want, but to make it inclusive for the members, stream will be open to anybody, but the chat will be locked to members only. And that way, I'm only answering your questions, only focusing on what you guys want to talk about. Shrimply, what's up? Good morning. Joseph, Andy, what's up? Good morning. Michael, La Clover Nostra. Vincent, hi coach. Would you recommend buying more on margin right now? Price around 8. I'm using interactive brokers. So typically with a highly shorted stock, I would say no on the margin tip, just because you know, one thing that did happen with GameStop on the big run up is all of a sudden they tightened margin requirements, and now they made margin requirements like 3 times the amount, and so basically you were getting margin called right off the bat. And as GameStop started dropping, and basically they were liquidating positions, but that was a lot different because GameStop was up to like 480 off of $40. Right now with CLOV at $8, and this kind of being the bottom, I think. And I mean, if you feel like CLOV is at the bottom right now, I would say this is probably the safest time to buy on margin. And the only reason I say that is because I think there's nowhere to go but up. So you're not going to run into, because the biggest problem with margin is if you buy something on margin and it starts to fall, you're double or tripling your losses, and now you're getting into a margin call where you got to come up with cash to keep that position. To me, how much more can CLOV fall from here? I mean, obviously you can go wherever the market takes it, but I don't really see it falling much more. Maybe dip down to 8. We've seen it touch as low as like 760 recently. I think that might be the lowest we've seen. The other problem with margin too is when you're trading on margin, you have no control over your shares in terms of them being lent out. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying on margin right now, but I also don't think it's a bad move considering where we're at. If we were trading upwards of $15 and you were buying on margin, and all of a sudden we got slammed down to 8, like we did 3 months ago, you probably get most of your position wiped out by the time you got margin called and liquidated, and you'd be sitting on way less shares. So definitely a better time now. Fluffer says skills is up pre-market. What do we got there? Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a nice little pump there. News-wise on skills, nothing much. I don't see anything recent on skills other than some call sweeps that were announced yesterday at the 12.50 and $12 calls. A lot of option alerts actually came in yesterday on skills, and some $30 calls, some $30 leap calls last week. So looks like some big money's looking for a movement on skills. And to get back into what we were talking about a little while earlier about me tracking big movement or tracking institutional buys or big players, that's something that I more pay attention to, is like that. Like, you see a ton of call sweeps, and that to me, that's showing that big money is betting that a stock is going to move, and so that's something that I'll pay attention to. But yeah, it's moving right now. Coach B, price prediction for BBIG. Man, if we kind of zoom out here, and I don't think anyone knows, what's going to happen with the squeeze at all. I mean, it did kind of, it hit the spike in January. Right now, it just passed that point, where it looks like it kind of is sitting right around that high from back there. To me, I'm at least thinking it's going to break through this 10, and who knows how high it can go. If we look at the option chain on it, it is extended out to 20 now. I think it ended at 11 the other day, and there is a ton of open interest in there. So if skills can get moving, and it looks like they added in some new strikes today, we'll see what happens there with the open interest. But you already have a ton of calls deep in the money here. 54,000 over 3,000, 28,000 over 7,000. And these are like deep in the money. And this is what you need to really kick off a gamma squeeze. Even the $5 strike is kind of in the money. So now all of a sudden, if that can propel it to get above 9, 10, 11, at least gamma squeeze potential, I would say there is enough buildup here in the chain to get it above 20. You get above 20, and who knows, because this is a high short interest play. Who knows how high it can go? But I would say if it pops, I'm looking for it to at least reach 20. And again, I think anybody who gives you like these big numbers, like, oh, this is going to hit 100, this is going to hit, 420.69 or anything, they're doing that to pump you and get you to come watch their video or anything else. I like to look at things from a little bit more of a realistic point, and then if something bigger happens, like temper my expectation. If something bigger happens, great. But for me, at least, I'd be looking for it to like kind of blow out the option chain, because it is getting a ton of open interest in there, and we already have a ton of calls already in the money. That being said, something I'll point out here on BBIG, if you're not in it already, 311% IV. Okay, that's extremely high. You're paying a huge premium for calls right now on BBIG. But it has the potential to move. Okay, so I'm not saying, stay away from this IV's high, but just know what you're getting into. And if you're not familiar with that implied volatility and how it works, I did do a video on it recently. If you go to the Chalk Talks in my channel, you can kind of see the one on options basics, and it kind of explains how implied volatility affects your options pricing. But 300% is high. Now, that doesn't mean it's not the stock's not going to go anywhere at all. It actually means that there's a ton of people betting that the stock's going to move. So, but if you're talking about getting into options on BBIG, it's pretty expensive right now. GME is crazy to me. Is it still heavily shorted? Thought for sure it would stay down after that big squeeze to 300. I don't think the short interest has gone anywhere. If anything, I think it's even more shorted than it was. I don't know about than it was back in January, but kind of like the same type of stuff we've been talking about with CLOV, FTDs, market manipulation. I did a playlist on market manipulation and how they're able to hide the short interest. And to me, I think GameStop's going to run right back to 350. So, every single time, GameStop was never allowed to run. In January, it got up to 480. Everyone knows the story there. They pulled the plug on it. And then the other 3 times that it ran up to 350, it almost seems like 350 is where they're afraid of the actual squeeze taking place. It's ran up to 350 now twice since then. And both times you saw a huge rug pull, and just massive short attacks to send it back down because they don't want to let it get past 350. I think that's like the breaking point where things get wild. I mean, if you, and I'm way behind in the chat, so I'm just gonna show you this real quick. You know, GameStop 480, 350, 350. It never has been able to break through this point. Now look at the same exact chart in AMC. And again, this is way back here, but it had its high at 21, and then it was hitting a wall at 10. And then this next time it came back and hit this same wall, kind of like how GameStop did, like up, wall. This would be significant to like the GameStop wall at 350, but it passed it and ended up running 3 times the January high. I think GameStop has that potential. I really do. Because there is a ton of short interest in it, and it does have a smaller float than a lot of these other stocks. So yeah, I still think it's definitely heavily shorted. All right, let me try to catch up. Papa Clove, what is up with little to no movement in after and pre-market over the last couple of weeks? I mean, it's just buy pressure, right? If we're not getting the buy pressure in, we're not going to see that movement. You know, volume's been dropping off. Right now, we're only looking at 100,000 volume. So we just, you know, to get that type of movement in the pre-market and after hours, we need to see volume. Pat said, tried deleting the app when I got margin called. Crypto Cellos in the house. What's up? Present Minds. Let's see. Mertz in the house. What's up? Vincent Louis, new member. And I know I'm way behind. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate it. Another second member of the day. I appreciate all the support from everybody, really. And I'm going to work on those membership benefits and get them coming. But Vincent, I appreciate it. Thank you. Jose, good morning. Let's see here. Faith's in the house. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Says, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this community. Thank you for being a part of it. BTFD, I made 0 friends on Twitter talking the truth about Lucid. Yeah, you know what? I'm on a group thread with Degenerate, and you know, he's been talking about Lucid for a while now, and this dump specifically happening today, and he was spot on. I mean, he called it. Dude's pretty sharp when it comes to some of this stuff, or a lot of this stuff. So you know, I just haven't had the dry powder to really follow a lot of what he's talking about sometimes. Let's see here. Yeah, everyone's saying skills. Okay, I did catch up. I started skipping over the chat just so I could try to catch up with you guys, and it looks like I'm all caught up. So if there was a specific question that I skipped over, throw it back in. I'm sorry if I skipped anybody. SMJ, good morning. What's going on? Thank you for joining. Florida Nick, what's going on? It looks like we're at 5:43 right now. We still got about 45 minutes until market open. Jose says, what are the indicators on your chart? VWAP and some MAs. Yeah, so, and really, I probably have too many of these moving averages on here, especially for how small I have these charts on my screen. But VWAP's right here, along with kind of like these Bollinger Bands. And a lot of times these do kind of show you a decent, you know, when you're running up, it kind of gives you an idea of maybe where the top might be. And same thing when you see a dip. Didn't really see it with CLOV, but sometimes it'll stop down there. In terms of the moving averages I have up here, let me check and see what I actually have going right here. Looks like I got the 9 and the 20. And those are like more day trading is what I use them for. And those are EMAs, not SMAs. But I haven't really been day trading lately, so I don't know. But it does seem to sometimes they seem to hold those for support. You see, a lot of times when you see the crossovers on them, you'll start to see something either break up or break down. You see a cross under here. So I mean, those are the ones that I usually use when I do day trade, but I haven't been day trading in so long. I don't know if they're just getting in the way, and you guys don't like looking at them. I'll take them off. But those are the ones that I use, and then I like to keep the MACD up and the RSI more specifically. Like MACD is a lagging indicator. It's good for like if you're skipping around from stock to stock, and then you could pull one up and say, oh, okay, it just crossed over on the MACD. But RSI is one that I really like to look at in terms of seeing when something gets in that overbought or oversold territory. Let's see here. Pat M, good morning. Happy Clovers. Thoughts on UAV's chart might be good for a swing trade. Let's check it out. I'm going to leave these other ones up here right now. UAVS. I read that as UAV apostrophe S for some reason. Damn, so this one was all the way up at 17 back then. And it does look, I'm looking at the daily right now, it got into oversold territory, back here a couple days ago, and it's starting to bounce off of it. RSI is almost above 50. It is above the MACD. I usually have. So when I'm looking at daily charts, I usually, look at different moving averages. Here's the 20, the 50, and the 100. So we're still trading below all of those. If I was going to enter this for a swing trade, and again, I don't know anything about this stock. I don't know why it fell down or anything. Typically I'd want to look into it and see, what was the reason for the big drop there. But it does seem like, potentially it's finding some support. I would, before entering this for a swing trade, I'd want to see it like get above at least one of these lines and close above it. I always like to look for multiple bullish indicators. We do have some, the green on the MACD, RSI being above 50 would be a bullish indicator. So maybe if we were able to close above one of these lines here, or above a nice support level. Another thing that I've been using recently to do quick TA is, let me see if I can pull this up. I'm going to get this back up. Is TRADYTICS. TRADYTICS is a great resource when you want to just pull up, let's see here. So if I go to ticker dashboard, stocks, let's check this out just so you guys could kind of see, because I've been saying I've been so damn busy lately that I haven't had time to really do research on stocks or anything else, and really even research TRADYTICS. And I have this subscription to it. But if you look at it, it gives you, this is over here on the stock dashboard. You do a UVAS summary. You can hit trend lines. It'll kind of show you here really quick, pull up trend lines for you. And as you can see, if we zoom in here, let me reset my zoom. If we zoom in right here, we could see that it did just break out of this wedge. So that's bullish. Like I said, though, we're still not above any of these moving averages that they have up here. You can also, sometimes you can hit a simulated projection, and I don't know the accuracy of this, but it kind of shows you a best case scenario that this stock could go, what is that, up to 480. And this is somewhat near term future. Looks like this is saying, by the end of the month, or on the low end down to 330. I don't put too much stock in that, but there's a ton of information in here. And I do, I have been trying to play around with it. You could even change it to say, okay, show me a 4-hour chart. On a 4-hour chart, again, um, give me some strength and resistance lines, support and resistance lines. And it does look like, kind of like I just kind of pointed out on that chart over there. There was a support level of 338 that I just kind of eyeballed and could see from there. And it is trading above there. And then it also gives you an idea of where you'll see some resistance levels. So this TRADYTICS software, I haven't dove into it too much, but from what I've seen in terms of like just evaluating a quick stock play and kind of getting an idea on something, the other thing that I do like to use on here, and we could even check that out on UAVS too, is oh, not enough options flow there. So anyways, I'll look at the options flow too and kind of just see where the market sentiment is. And if anybody's interested in TRADYTICS, there is a link in the description to this video where you guys can actually, I think, get a discount on a trial membership. It's like $7 for 7 days. And then I think it gives me a discount on my next month if anyone actually signs up. BTFD says Skills is a heavily shorted SPAC. They had issues with DAUs, but online phone gaming isn't going anywhere. I've not been watching, but they've dropped new games. This is a nice swing. Okay. Okay, so Jose uses the 8 and 20. Yeah, I usually use the 9. But I mean, they're all pretty similar. And you know what else is crazy too is a lot of stocks trade on different EMAs, right? Like if you look at Skills right now, it does look like it kind of bounced off this. But sometimes if you just change the number, right? Like if you were to just go in and say, let me delete this. This is driving me crazy. There you go. If you just go in and just change it a little bit and say, okay, change the 9 to a 10 or an 8, you might find that particular stock is bouncing off, just a little bit difference in the number. Changing your 20 to a 21, especially as you start mixing through different time frames. I mean, if you're really trying to find some correlations and stuff, but a lot of times too, like at this point, I'm kind of at a point now where like if I'm day trading too or looking for like entry points and stuff, I don't even really pay attention to some of these lines sometimes because it's like you get so used to just reading so many other things like volume and RSI and even just the candles themselves that the lines, the moving averages are just another thing on the screen. Let's see. Coach, the lucid sell-off can cause a little pullback for CLOV. Sentimental. Um, I don't know about that, but I mean, I could see something that there might be something there. Definitely a possibility. Let's see here. I just want to pull up. I have my Clove news feed off. I want to turn it back on in case anything else pops up. Also, I haven't really talked about today, but the patents that came out on Clove yesterday. Let's see, BTFD. Actually, I just seen this. Shared a photo with you. Yeah, let me pull that up since we're talking about skills. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place right now, but I'm gonna open up my Twitter message real quick because Degenerate just sent a photo over. And it looks like right here says 275 million float and share price 1177, short float 20%, 38 million volume today. That's not right now, is it? With the volume? Yeah, looks like we got 10 million volume so far. Okay. UAVS is a former runner. He said, when I throw out tickers and they are bad, school me, please. No, I don't necessarily think that it's bad. I mean, that UAVS might be a great swing. I don't know enough about it. Like, before I enter into a swing trade, usually I want to do a little bit of research and maybe try to uh, see where the stock, sometimes on technicals, I will enter a swing trade just on technicals. But depending where I'm at, a lot of times I'll look at, you know, what was the all time highs? Why did it fall? What made it run up the last time? Try to get a little bit more information behind it. Maybe, what did it just do on the last couple earnings? Just to make sure, and then I'll go in and try to like build a position on something. But on a bet, which is totally different. Like for me, I have like trades where I'll go in for like momentum trades and things like that, and I'll base it on technicals. And then, but I always like to look at a little bit of fundamentals behind the company, just because a company, and even if a company's trading above fundamentals or below it or whatever, I'm not saying I only enter based on fundamentals, but I do like to look at it. That way I know if something, have a feeling for if something's just a pump or anything like that. Now, a bet, on the other hand, which I play bets all the time too, I'll do just based off technicals, just based off the option chain, just based off other things. Um, but when I'm betting, I'm using a very, very small fraction of my account, and I'm just looking to make a big play and looking for something that maybe has like lotto ticket potential. Um, let's see here. Pat, thought you were talking about workouts when you said you're using bands and noticing a big difference. That's funny. Um, let's see here. I'm trying to catch up on the chat again. Peter Meekus is here. What's going on? Dan's taking off. All right, Dan. See you later. Adios. Um, Abhinav, what's up? Good morning. Um, let's see. Skills. I'm just trying to catch up. You guys are asking where Skills is. Their headquarters is in San Francisco. Lucid CEO said they will 100% run out of money in, what's it say? Before 2023, so they will dilute even further. Valuation was 35 billion, but they haven't shipped a car. Yeah. Jose says, Coach, you got a Discord. It's funny you asked. So Ego built me one. And I was just talking about that yesterday, that I really want to get the Discord. It's built. It's ready to go. I just, I want to rename some stuff. Maybe hide some channels right now. Maybe just make a couple channels open, and then I'm going to open it up. I really am. And I'll start promoting it. I think right now the only people in the Discord is me, Ego, and co-creator. And Jaywalk, I think he's in there too. So there's 4 of us in there. But I'm gonna start putting that out there. Soon. Matt C says, Coach, you into penny stocks? Possible amazing entry point on RSHN. I'll write that down. I have played pennies in the past. Current falling wedge pattern. Swung this a couple times for amazing gains. I wrote that one down. I'll check it out maybe later on when I get to work on my lunch. Sorry, I'm passing up a lot of these tickers just because I don't want to get too far behind in the chat. BBIG borrow fee on Schwab, 81%. Okay. Where do you go to read the option chain? For me, if I just want to look at an option chain, this is my Thinkorswim app, and you can go through like that. But TRADYTICS, on the other hand, since we were talking about it, now this is UAVS. It didn't have anything, but if we go to CLOV, I'll just show you guys since we haven't looked at it today anyways. And they've been adding new stuff all the time. Kind of gives you where their algorithm is saying that a stock, based on options flow, where the stock should be trending, and this is like minute by minute. So, but then if you go down, it gives you call versus put volume, implied volatility rank, gamma exposure, and this will update throughout the day too. This shows you the entire chain, so you can kind of get an idea of like once CLOV gets past the $9 strike, there's 51,000 calls that'll go in the money versus 6,000 puts. So there's a lot of information here. Max pain by date, and then it'll show you like large orders and options flow that comes in. So I'm really digging this software, and they've been adding new stuff all the time. It really feels like you can get any information you need out of there. Seems like Clove right here. What do we got? Getting a little bit of a spike here. Oh, Pat, super chat. Sorry, I didn't see it. Let's see here. What do we got? Been enjoying your Chalk Talk videos. I'd like to learn how to hedge my long positions with options more effectively. Okay, so, and I mean, I don't want to get too much into it right now, but that's kind of one of the things I'm going to get into. But one way is really with puts, like married puts. And so, like, for instance, let's just say, and that's exactly what hedge funds do too. But and thank you for the super chat. But so let's just say you have a long position like Clove, for instance, and Clove makes a nice jump like it did a couple weeks ago. We got up to like $11, and you're in Clove for the long haul, right? Like you're not planning on selling your shares. You don't want to cash out at 11. But there is some downside there because we know that the floor has been somewhere around $8. Really it'd be like hedging with puts. I mean, yeah, if what can happen? Two things. One, if we got up to $11 and I think it was somewhere around 11, right? 10.50, right around earnings. That there's like $2.50 to $3, that we could fall. But we also could take off and explode. So you're essentially hedging. It's going to cost you money, but you can go in and buy, buy some put options there, and really like just to cover your shares. So if you're sitting on 1,000 shares, maybe you buy 10 put options. And now if the stock takes off and we hit a gamma squeeze, or we just keep trending upwards and go to 14, 15, whatever it may be, who cares? You lost the money on your put options. But if the stock ends up trending downwards, now you can cash in a little bit of money while still retaining your shares, right? A lot of times what people will do too when they buy stock is what's called a married put, which is essentially the same type of idea. And that's like, if I was to buy shares, let's say 1,000 shares because I want to go long on something, at the very same time, I could buy like 10 puts at the money. And so now what's happening, and I'll use a different example besides Clove, just to give you a real, let me see, where's my option chain at? So I'm going to pull up Disney. I love using Disney as an example. I don't know why. Maybe just because I like going to Disneyland. Me and Scotty have that in common. But let's say I wanted to open a position on Disney today. Disney costs $181. If I wanted to buy, 100 shares of that, it's going to cost me, what is that, 18 grand? Does that sound right? Yeah. So I'm going to go in and buy 100 shares for 18 grand. And then maybe I want to hedge myself out to November. You're going to have to pick. Options expire, but let's just say even January. So I want to hedge myself. So I'm putting 18,000 in right now, but at the same time, I'm going to buy a put option for at the money for $1,300. For this, or let's just say $1,000 for this 180 strike. So now essentially what I did was I have $1,000 hedged, and basically, if I'm wrong on my Disney play and the stock starts dropping, um, you know, as it starts to drop, I could maximize some gains here. Now, I got into Disney long term because I believe in it and I'm bullish on the stock. But now what I did was I took away $10 of gains, right? So if I bought the stock for 180, I'm not really going to start profiting until it gets to 190. But if I'm in it for the long haul and I think the stock's going to 200, 220, 230, it's kind of a short-term hedge. I'm hedging the next 142 days by grabbing this put contract. I hope that kind of answers it. There's a lot more you could do too, and I'm really going to start getting into that with the I did the options basics playlist. Now I'm going to do an options strategies playlist, and I'll lay out like what's bullish, what's bearish, what I'm doing to hedge a position, straddle plays. There's so much more you could do, and I'm really gonna start getting into all of that. But again, Pat, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Zeke for Bleak, what's up? Says got a good feeling about today. So do I. We're starting to see a little bit of movement. I brought up earlier GameStop starting to move a little too. I haven't looked at AMC in a while. AMC not doing much, kind of trading flat right now. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because we have been, I feel like, tracking with GameStop more so than GameStop and AMC more than a lot of the other plays. CLOV at least. Some of the other short squeeze plays have already been making big moves, and I feel like the days that GameStop and AMC have been going green, CLOV's been going green. The days they've been going red, CLOV's been going red, and so GameStop set to open up about $4 up, and CLOV right now looking to open up about 5 cents up. I mean, not much, and we still got some time, but it does look like we're looking a little green right now. Scotty says phone been ringing all morning. I miss hearing most of the first hour. Hey, that's why I upload them afterwards, Scotty. You can always go back and watch. But Scotty too. I'm getting excited, man. It's almost Friday. We're getting there. And I don't know if you heard the other day, but I'm coming out with a little mini shots. The 99-cent little shot bottle as an emoji so that people can start using those on Friday when you come on. It's going to be like the little official Scotty logo. We'll throw it in the for the membership thing in the chat. Let's see. Peter Meekus says BBIG got the news this morning. Did I miss that? Let me pull that up. That didn't even pop up on my that didn't pop up. It still hasn't popped up on my news ticker yet. But sometimes I feel like I get stuff on my TD Ameritrade news ticker, and sometimes I don't. But I don't have anything on there yet, so I can't even pull it up. Mert Tube's in the house. BTFD says the level 2 ask is thin. Yeah, that's what we saw yesterday morning. I know you pointed that out yesterday too. There's not a lot in there, and that's the one thing I don't like about TD Ameritrade. I might even email them and see, because I love, like, one of the things I loved about Webull or even Schwab. Like, I'm looking at my level 2 on Schwab right now for CLOV, and you could see way more information than what you could see on TD, and they're essentially the same company. So I don't know why we're not getting the same information here. But yeah, I'm looking at the not a lot going on. I could even pull this over and show you guys, I think. Let's see if I can figure this out real quick. This is what, and I know Degenerate uses Schwab too, but this is what my level 2 looks like on Schwab, and way more information compared to what we see here on TD Ameritrade. But um, you know, you could see all basically the entire order book, what's in there. Um, so I get way more data on Schwab. I just like the charting and everything of Thinkorswim, but there's no reason why you can't have an order book like this in Thinkorswim, and maybe there's something I'm just missing. If I am, and somebody knows, let me know. But there's not a lot of sell orders here. There's really not a lot of blockage. Yesterday was crazy. We saw at one point like 500,000, I think. Um, Let me see. Let me close this down. Yeah, yesterday we saw um, a 508,000 sell wall, I believe it was, sitting on the on level 2, somewhere I think at like 865. That was crazy. Sorry I missed that. What's the software called? If you're talking about what I just pulled up, it's I'm using Thinkorswim right now. The one that I just pulled over was Street Smart Edge. That's through Charles Schwab. The other software that I was talking about, where I was pulling up the options data and everything else, was TRADYTICS. Co-creator getting up late this morning. All good, bro. All good. You've been working hard, man. Co-creator is my official, not official, but I guess official too. But my first mod I had in here on the chat. Now I feel like I got a ton of them. But co-creator's been around since the beginning. Good morning, bro. It's good to sleep, get that rest. Let's see. Was there some news coming on CLOV? Oh, there is some news. Okay, so Jose just reported some news right here, and that one did pop up on my news feed. So yesterday we had the U.S. patents, and it looks like today we have Time Care, an oncology care management solution providing high-touch tech-enabled cancer care navigation. Today announced a partnership with Clover Health, a technology company committed to improving health equity. Times Cancer Navigation Services and Oncology Network help ensure that cancer patients have personalized support. That sounds right in line with what Clove likes to do. Quality resources and quick access to high-value care. Company was founded by a team of former executives from Flatiron Health. Okay. The work we're doing with Time Care is an excellent example of our ability to plug innovative solutions into the Clover Assistant that allow us to assist primary care physicians with their patients. Andrew Toy, President and CTO of Clover Health. Getting a cancer diagnosis is devastating, especially for seniors who are already managing multiple chronic conditions. We believe the support and care coordination provided through this partnership will go a long way in helping our members live better lives. Well, that's awesome. More good news for Clove. It says no terms disclosed. So they reported a partnership with Clove, but no, they haven't disclosed the terms yet. That's still good news, I think. I mean, it's still. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, Jose. And I'm sure we'll see more information about that unfold throughout the day, and all these great minds that have been covering this stock. We'll probably dig deeper into this, whether it be on Twitter or on YouTube or on the Clove subreddit. If you haven't checked out the Clove subreddit, there is a link down below in the description of this video. Ton of great information there, always. Up to the minute too. I'm sure there's probably a post in there already with somebody breaking it down. Let's see here. Oh, Ross Lowe said he bought me a share. I didn't even realize that. Okay. Okay. So Pat's super chat was for 856. Pat bought me a share. Right on, Pat. I didn't even realize that. That's pretty awesome. Co-creator said you can get whatever emoji you want, but you have to join as a member. Genetic Nate, what's up? Good morning. Co-creator says, how many members are we at? Let me double check. To be honest with you, I don't even know how to double check, but I'm gonna figure it out real quick. So if I go to my channel and let's see, it's got to be a quick way to look in here. Memberships. It looks like 27. So we got 27 members, part of Coach B's team. Um, let's see here. Ekatab, what's up? Good morning. Thank you for joining. Perilous Joe or Perilous Jose. I thought that said Joe at first. What's going on? Jimmy Retro says apparently CLOV got mentioned on CNBC this morning. I don't know about that. I didn't. I've been on here. I haven't been watching, but it could be in regards to this partnership too, potentially. Um, we're getting close to the open too. Let me catch up on this chat, and I'll maybe review some of what we have seen so far. Coach, how much do you think CLOV would be in 10 years? Price prediction. Well, um, really hard to say. I mean, I have no idea. I would say triple digits in a couple years. That's really what I think. Like if you were to just buy the stock and just not even look back at it, triple digits. But 10 years from now, I really think if with the AI and the SaaS part of it, and software as a service, and if they have the potential to become an Amazon, a Tesla, something like that, but that type of company in the healthcare industry. And so if you think about it from that regards, and there's so much more that goes into share price, like, if let's say they don't dilute they don't dilute the stock, they don't do any stock splits or anything like that, I would say 10 years from now, at least $1,000 per share. Maybe I'm being a little too optimistic, but I don't think so. I think 10 years is a long time. And even if you look at like some of the original expectations from when this was still a SPAC and during the merger and everything, I think I could be wrong here, but they were saying, I think somewhere like a $1,400 price target. For well down the road. I don't have the information right in front of me right now, but it was something like that. So, um, yeah, somewhere around there. Now, obviously, um, in between there, I would imagine there'd be some stock splits and everything else. So, if you owned 100 shares of Clove and it hit $100, or let's just say it got to 500 and it's trading at 500, no squeeze, no nothing, just trading at $500 a share. Maybe they stock split 10-1, and now all of a sudden you have 1,000 shares at $50 instead of 100 shares at $500. And I mean, that's the same thing Tesla's done in the past, and a lot of other companies, and keep splitting and everything. And so who knows? But I mean, I would say at least $1,000 if we're talking 10 years. Because I think this company is hyper growth. The bigger it gets, the faster it's going to grow, and it's got so much potential. Um, let's see here. I was co-creator bring up another one. I can't click on that link. I think I got to go into the YouTube. But is that another? Good scanners. I use in here in my Thinkorswim, there's built-in scanners, and then you can customize your own. So if I click over here, I could like build out my own scanners. I have like filters that I've added in and everything else. That's usually what I use. But also this TRADYTICS, again, I haven't gone too much into it, but just to kind of show you guys what they have here, they actually have this TRADYTICS AI. Um, and where's the other one at? I think it's called Profit. There's a bunch of scanners in here, and throughout the day, it'll actually pull up like intraday plays. I think is it the bullseye. I gotta go through and look. Maybe it is this bullseye one. There we go. So throughout the day, it'll actually pull up like this is yesterday plays that it pulled up and said, hey, Peloton, Google, buy the calls at this strike, and different plays that in this expiration. And so not only is it there's some in there that just scan and show you what's moving, and then there's other scanners built in there where they're actually giving you options plays. I haven't played around with it, but that's interesting. Actually, I'm gonna pull that back up. So it looks like yesterday it alerted and said buy GameStop calls 250 strike for September 3rd. Huh. I like that. Um Damn, that's for this week too. This week's expiration. So that was an alert that it gave yesterday. So that's in the TRADYTICS app. There's so much in there, and they keep building onto it. So definitely worth checking out if you're looking for something to kind of alert you to like plays and find plays for you. There's so much more in there than just what I've been using it for, which is like options data and other stuff. Um, let's see here. Pat M says I made a video of that 500,000 wall disappearing a few seconds after close. Yeah, I noticed that thing yesterday too, and it just like it was there, and it was there for a while, and then it just disappeared. Um, Milan says positive and Green Day ahead. Um, Chef Daddy said, "Hey, Coach B Stocks, gonna have you in the background for coffee, focusing on BBIG skills, uh, XELA, and what happens with CLOV and BB. Solid partnership for CLOV, and big ups to co-creator for the OG mod." Right on, Chef Daddy. Thanks for joining too. Um, Sacktown Finest, what's up, Rob? Thanks for joining again this morning. Co-creator said, if you want all the bells and whistles as supporters of Coach B, plus cool badges and more, join the team today. Mike says, Thinkorswim can be confusing at first. There's a million YouTube videos that explain everything. Took me a couple weeks. Mike, if you happen to know, is there a better level 2? Am I like settings or something that I could change? Because I know Schwab owns Thinkorswim. They have this access to the same data. It's just I don't like how what Thinkorswim. This is my only complaint I've ever had about Thinkorswim, is that they only report the highest or the closest bid from each exchange instead of showing me everything. I want to see the entire order book. And I don't know if I just have to do some research into it, but if anybody knows, throw it in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. Pat says patents, partnerships, massive institutional investment, expansion of services, huge conferences coming up, crazy good earnings. Let's go. Dave, what's up? What's going on? Says he watched CNBC this morning. It was just a one sentence mention, no big earth shaking moves. Okay. I'm just trying to skip ahead, guys. Thomas in the house. What's up, Thomas? Good morning. Fluffer, good morning. I thought I saw Fluffer in here earlier. Maybe I'm tripping and I'm just tired. But good morning, Fluffer. If I didn't say it already, thanks for coming in. D Worm, what's up? The waffle maker. Thoughts on skills. I don't know much about what's going on with it. I know if you scroll up, BTFD, Degenerate, Fresh Prince, the Fresh Prince. He was talking a little bit about it in the chat, dropping some knowledge. So I know if you kind of scroll back, he threw some information down on that. But it is moving this morning. I didn't see a lot of news on it. Only thing that I saw earlier when I looked was a ton of call sweeps that kind of came in. And let's see here. Would you look at the TRADYTICS bot for your Discord server? Absolutely. That's one of the other things that I want to try to get set up in there, because you can move that TRADYTICS bot into the server and then it'll actually alert in the server the plays and stuff. So that's something that I'm definitely. I've already reached out to TRADYTICS too, and they set me up with like that custom referral link, and I've been talking to them, and that's something that I definitely am going to have on there as well. I just got to find time. Yesterday we were talking so much about like in here, and I'll try to hurry this up, like doing a cool thing for members. Like I said, I'd set up some sort of like NFL pool, like a survivor type pool or something where everybody picks a team every week and just kind of have some fun in there. And Ego brought up like that's something we could start kicking off on the Discord server and all that kind of stuff. And I want to do it. I just got to find a little time. And I think I'm starting to slow down a little bit at work, where I'm going to start getting some free time to get this stuff done, even on my lunch. But I have a list of like a to-do list of things that I want to get accomplished this week for sure. And the Discord is one of them. I want to finish up. I'm almost done building out the merchandise store. There's some cool features I want to throw into this stream that I've been working on. The emojis, I got a lot, but I'm gonna get it done. I will. Is the time thing with CLOV a good thing or a bad? I would say good. I would say good for sure. Midwest Tom says total gamble, but picked up 25 call options yesterday. $13 strike for $60. Yeah, I mean, for that type of thing, and you can get in pretty cheap. Those are the type of like gambles for sure. But I like making those plays occasionally too. I always have my shares, but it doesn't hurt to throw a little bet out there every now and then too. That's what helps you really leverage your money and maximize your gains when there's big movement. Just looking around at the market before open. Creme fraiche. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but good morning. D-Train says, not sure you guys caught it, but Eeyore suggested CLOV, amongst others, was a better squeeze candidate than BBIG and SPRT due to volume disparities compared to short interest. So that's probably, I'm assuming, and I agree. I mean, you guys know I'm long CLOV more than anything right now, but days to cover where they get that number is when you see volume like through the roof. And I talked about this back in June too, when we saw a 700 million volume day. It's like it'd be really easy for shorts to come in and cover and not even be noticed when volume is that high. But that's also, it's still going to be driving the price up. But now that's encouraging to hear. Narwhal, what's up? Jeffrey Herman, good morning. In Clover about 2 weeks now with a big position for me. Give me some hope here. Shit, if you've only been in for 2 weeks, I'll tell you this much. I think you couldn't have timed it better. Because being in for 2 weeks, I mean, I would imagine at worst, maybe your cost average is like $9. At best, maybe 750. So I would say and you know we've been trading sideways for so long now that yeah, I think you're doing pretty good, and you might not have to wait as long as we are for some upward price movement. But thanks for joining, Jeffrey. Um, Lisa, what's up? Good morning. Up late, had a dead phone. All good. Thank you for coming in. Um, let's see. Ekatab says, Coach, you still hanging on to those SPRT calls you made on Monday. I mean, at this point, I'm down 78% on them. So when I get down that much on calls, I usually just kind of let it ride at that point. You know, I feel like like 80, actually I would say 80%, but what 78% is still pretty damn bad. So at that point I just look at it as a lost play, right? I mean, I have until September 17th for it to bounce back if it does. And I'll wait for some sort of bounce back. Maybe if it gets above 50% loss, then I could exit and still exit with a little bit of cash. But right now, anytime I get down like below 80% on calls, I kind of consider it dead. And sometimes they come back to life. All it takes is 1 or 2 days and it just comes popping back and I should be good. But yeah, that one's not looking good at all. Um, Although my BBIG is actually looking pretty good right now. So yeah, just see what happens. But yeah, I'm still hanging on to it. Says DraftKings break over 60, 35, 60, 40. Looks like we could be in for a nice run to 63, 65. Absolutely. I just rolled over my DraftKings position, or I should say rolled up. So I had those initial, I think it was November and February calls for the 65 strike that I opened about a month ago. And on Monday, what I did was I sold those calls. Was it Monday or yeah, it had to have been Monday. Yeah, Monday morning I sold those calls and basically rolled them into the 85 strike. So I bought them for $2, sold them for $6, 300% gain, and then um, basically took the initial $2 per call contract and bought the 85 strike for the same price. So now I'm just waiting. I think DraftKings is really going to move here. And there's some rumors right now that maybe a partnership with ESPN. That would be huge if we see something like that. So I got some high hopes for DraftKings long term. But yeah, I think we could see a nice little run to 65. That would be amazing if we get there. And then, but I think DraftKings now at this point we're looking like $85 to $100 by like January, maybe sooner. That's what I'm thinking at least. Um, Especially after their November earnings and we kind of see what the you know football season and this, and then they also have the NFT thing that they launched, and there's a lot going on there. Um, Let's see. So just looking right now, Clove is pretty flat. Nothing much going on. Down about 6 cents. GameStop is up. It gapped up on the day, and that might be why we're seeing this dip early right now. Just taking a look here to see. Ravi said, what is the realistic price target on Clove? Right now, my price target is probably between, not price target, but where I think we should be trading at is between like 20 to $30 right now. And that was before all this great news and the recent earnings. So I would say probably 30 to 40 is realistic right now. And then we're still going to see more growth in earnings leading into quarter three. More, revenue. Once they become profitable, I think realistic price target is, maybe 70 to 100. But that would maybe be like about 6 months to a year from now. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe even a year and a half. And I think that's fairly realistic as they continue to grow. Sees greatness, new member. What's up? Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. I think that might be the third membership today. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody who has joined. Current members and my new members today. Everybody, thank you very much for joining the team. I promise you guys I'm gonna get some some cool stuff coming in here and really make it worth your while. And I really appreciate the support. Can't say that enough, but thank you, C's greatness. Really, really appreciate it. You guys are saying that sell wall is ridiculous. Oh, is this over here at 868? I gotta look. Even when I'm at work, I don't use Thinkorswim, so I'm looking at some. Oh, it's still up there, yeah, at 865, 502,000. It's there again. What's behind that wall? So that's at 865, and this is where I'm saying, like right now on Nasdaq, Thinkorswim's only showing me 857. So it just shows me the closest on the Nasdaq. But if I look over at my Charles Schwab, it's 504,000 sell wall at 865. So that's pretty damn big. But I think if we can get through there, who knows what's past that. Narwhal says road tripping down Oregon, California, close. Listening to B. Right on. Where you heading, Narwhal? Coming down the coast. Anywhere in particular? Pat's starting to GoFundMe to get rid of the cell walls. That's awesome. Ego says one of us. One of us. That's funny. Oh man, you guys crack me up. The typical morning bullshit crew. But it looks like we're turning around. We saw our little dip. Still not green on the day, but not off by much. Not even off by a penny. So let's get it. I'd love to finish green. Leo, what's up? Good morning. I like the way GameStop was moving this morning. I know I kind of said that earlier, and it did come down and fill the gap, which is healthy. I'm expecting a nice GameStop pop today. I really am. I haven't seen GameStop just have that kind of natural climb like that in pre-market for a while. And as I'm saying that, it looks like DraftKings is popping a little bit too. AMC is. Zoom looks like if Zoom could break 300, that I could see that running a little bit too, especially after how much it fell yesterday. And GME is popping above 225. Today might be the day. I think GameStop's running back to 350. I have no idea what's happening once it gets there, but I absolutely see GameStop hitting back to 350. I know I've been saying that for a while now, and who knows? Hopefully today will be the day. I'll be one happy camper. Narwhal says Pop's house in Monrovia, stepmom pass. Okay, all right, Narwhal. I'm sorry to hear that. Have a safe trip. condolences. So sorry to hear that, but you know, um, yeah, safe travels. Pat says coach spoke it into existence. Yeah. Yeah, I just the GameStop, I've just been, watch you guys know I've been on it for a while, but I haven't seen this kind of just steady climb. We've seen like some sporadic up here, down here, and today it just had a different feeling to it. Hopefully it sticks. I just wish I owned a little bit more. But I'm like that all the time, right? It's always I always wish I had more no matter what stock it is. Um BBIG looks like it's starting to pop a little bit. And I'm gonna pull up this SPRT. I just want to see what's going on. Looks like it's been on this slowly. The 60 might have been the top, but ton of short interest. I showed earlier the Ortex data, and there's still a ton of short interest in there and everything else. Cost to borrow is high. I'm not going anywhere with those calls I bought. I might as well just, I think, at least hold on to them and see if we get another pop before September 17th. But this price action doesn't look very promising right now. CLOV's doing a little stair stepping right now too. What do you think a decent amount of CLOV stocks would be to get that Lamborghini? Started out buying at 25, kept buying the dip, have 2,000 shares now. Average cost 964. For a Lamborghini, I don't know. I don't even know how much a Lamborghini costs, but at the same time, I'm not interested in ever buying one. I forget who I was talking about. I think maybe it was Skip on Discord. Me and him were messaging each other and just talking about like, I don't even want Lamborghini money. I just want to, I think he was saying buy a house or buy this, and I was saying kind of the same thing. Like, I'd rather spend that money on a vacation home, but to each their own. But yeah, um, I don't know how high we need Clove to go. I think we have the potential to reach some amazing heights right now if a squeeze does kick off. Co-creator said, "I love this community. Very sweet people in here." No, I absolutely do too. Um, I look forward to getting on here every morning. I really do. I really feel like you guys are part of my morning routine, part of the family. You know, I skipped one too. Michelle said, "Good morning, Coach." And everyone newbie here, but enjoy listening. Yeah, no, I really feel like we really are. We've built this community now, and I look forward to getting up every morning, drinking my coffee, seeing some of these familiar names and faces. Some of you guys that have the I don't know what those are called, avatars, I guess, or something. Your little logos next to your name, and just seeing everybody. Sometimes when I see Scotty come in, I get fired up. Some of your guys is like Thomas is the. I'm just gonna throw it up here. Uh, that thing makes me crack up every day when I see it. But everybody, you know, everybody I see every morning, just there's so many of you guys, and it's part of my morning routine. I miss it when I don't do it, and I look forward to it. So really, a great community we have here, and appreciate everyone for being in here and helping support, and hopefully we all get rich together. BBIG popping big time. Clove is going green. Um, Everything looking good right now, at least that I have in my portfolio. Even D Worm even pointed out that BNGO is getting a little action. I feel like BNGO plays with us though, Worm. It's BNGO will give us that nice little pop and show that it's going up 2-3%, get me all excited, and then what's it do? The next day it'll go back down, and it's just been stuck at this same range for so long. But One day it will. So Thomas said, "Who the hell would put up a wall like that?" It could even be fake too. I'm just gonna, be honest with you. Like sometimes you see walls like that come up, and but it's still sitting there. It's 441,000 right now, so it's going down a little, um, which tells me it's probably not fake. We're just eating into it. So it went from 508 to 441. We'll come up and hammer it again, and that could be a short seller. I mean, you figured how many shares are available on loan, right? If you took out a borrow of like 1 million shares, you could throw up a big ass wall, 500,000 shares right there, and then use your other 500,000 shares to sell downward pressure into the market at strategic times too. Um, Seedless Green in the house. I'm gonna buy 100 shares every time it dips under 850. Let's go, bringing us that support. Uh, win payoff, wife's grand caravan. See, that's what it's about for me. It's not about win Lambo. It's like, hey, I gotta pay off the wife's Acadia. You know, getting an overhang built in my backyard right now. I want to pay off that. Just get. I got. I got all kinds of stuff I got to pay off right now, and I'm looking forward to it. I was joking with L Train the other night. I said if CLOV hits 50 in September, um, I'm buying an RV. I'm serious though too. I probably will. I've been wanting one for a while. We go camping a lot with the kids' sports. We go on little day trips and stuff where they might have games, and I'm anticipating more of that. I want to get one of those big. I don't even know what they're called, but not like the regular RV. I want the almost like the John Madden bus, that he used to travel around into the games. The big old tour bus looking one. I want one of those. That we could take camping, take everywhere. I'll take you to the Niner games and tailgate out of that thing. That's what I want to buy. Um, Pat says I get enough tickets with my beat up Camry. Did I let me see. I'm trying to get caught up here. Vacation home in Vegas. If I could do one place for a vacation, I mean, I got a couple, and I think we've talked about it on here too. Um, but my short order of vacation homes would be this. First one I want is Lake Tahoe. And Lake Tahoe, I don't know anyone who's familiar with Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe. It's on fire right now. It's a little crazy. But it's that would be my first place just because it's close. It's like 3.5 hours away from me. Actually 2.5 the way I drive. Uh, but so I would want to go there. You get four seasons. It's right. It's not too far away from me. You get snow in the winter. A nice hot sun in the summertime, and that would be the first thing I'd buy a vacation home. Number two would probably be San Diego. Absolutely love the weather down there year round. And again, it's close. It's in California, so I can get there pretty quick. Um, Number three would be Hawaii. I love Hawaii. Don't get there enough, and I get there a lot. So it's probably somewhere out there. But those would be my three spots that I would look to buy. If I'm ever fortunate enough. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch up with you guys. Chef Daddy's always laughing because I always say I'm behind in the chat, but I don't like getting behind. I feel like I'm missing out. You guys, you guys are all talking, I'm missing out on all the action. Um, Seedless Green says, when we make that money, we can all meet up on some island. Let's do it. I know Tar Heel, is out on the East Coast, and he said a couple times that he's got the place out there in North Carolina on the beach somewhere or something like that. But we got to do a West Coast party too, whether it be in Vegas, Hawaii, San Diego, maybe at my soon to be cabin in Tahoe if I ever get it. But definitely, we do got to do a some sort of big party. Um, Desert Eagle says his grandfather is about to close on the sale of an investment property and dropping 50K on Clove in a couple weeks. Hate to say it, but hope he still has this price range. I don't know if it'll be here for that long, but I hope he gets the opportunity to jump in at a decent price for sure. I have a feeling that once we eat through this 865 sell wall, we're not going to be in the eights any longer. It's at 440,000 right now. That sell wall at 865. If we hit 50, coach has to come on with a wig. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. I already said on Halloween I'm going to dress up like Scotty. Let's see. The big campers are called coaches. Okay, there we go. Neighbors are gonna love that bus parked in the backyard. Oh, I'm just gonna park it right next to my neighbor's house, the one with the loud gardener. I'm just gonna put it. Maybe I'll use that as a sound wall to keep all that racket his gardener's making all the time out. Let's see. Fluffer says Coach Gang better than Gucci Gang. All right. BBIG halted to the upside, sitting at $11, 11.19. Jason, thanks for pointing that out. That might make up for my the loss I'm taking on SPRT, this BBIG, and that's actually a high, right? All time high, I think. Why do I have? Damn, no one pointed that out to me. I'm over here with BBIG on a 15-minute candle this whole time. Damn, I was looking at it like, man, those are some big candles. What happened? But I had a 15-minute candle up. But yeah, I wonder how long it was like that. BBIG has been ripping. And I do believe that is, yeah. So it just passed this old all-time high. I had brought up earlier that BBIG definitely has some gamma potential. If we look at this chain, ton of calls here in the money right now. A ton of calls in the money. And we just passed the next big marker, which is 11. If we can hang on to that, I expect to see some gamma squeeze coming. And at this point, I'm going to hang on to these calls and see if we can hit 20. I really think that's the potential there. Jason says, "I told you the first time." I'm sorry. I've been so behind in the chat. I'm trying. All right, guys. Hey, it's 6:53. I'm a little behind here. I want to go see my kids off for school. As much as I love spending time with you guys, it's been great. We got 2 more days left for the market. Make sure you check out Tar Heel Blue later. I'm sure he's gonna be. I know yesterday he got ripping early, but that's why it's always important to set that bell notification too, so that you can see what time he's coming on, what time I'm coming on. But I'm sure he'll probably start a little early up too, just because we're going green and things are looking great. At least, well, I know we're not. I'm signing off and we're red. We're gonna go green once I sign off. Fluffer says, "Where's Scotty today?" He was on earlier, and he said he had to take off. But be sure to tune in on Friday. Scotty will be on, and I will have the custom emojis. I promise. If I only have one emoji on my channel, it'll be the Scotty shot bottle emoji, and that will be here on Friday. So make sure you guys tune in on Friday. Scotty will be getting us fired up. But again, I gotta go. I want to go see my kids off before school. Wish them a good day, and I want to wish you guys all a nice big green day. Let's get it. Hopefully I could roll this BBIG play into a ton more CLOV. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.